It's week 8. It's bye-maggedon. You're in a bind. You're sitting who we told you to sit. So who should you put in their place? We'll tell you. Producer, hit that button. Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and Biggs, Week 8 Starts Edition, the best place on the internet to find great pickles.
Totally. And if you're in a pickle, you're here to find out who to start. Hopefully we helped you out yesterday on our sit show. Biggs, you're pickling up a storm over there. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, if you want great pickles, go to Facebook and find Chris's Smoked Pickles on Facebook, and then send him a Facebook message on Messenger and tell him Big sent you, and he'll hook you up with some great smoked pickles. He's got trail mix, he's got smoked meats and cheeses. But I digress. You can see the full commercial on Breakfast with Biggs on Sunday morning if you tune in. If you're new here, welcome. Like and subscribe, hit the bell. We're glad to have you, and stick around because we'll help build you a champion. My first start this week, there's not really a whole lot for me to go on with this one. It's just kind of a gut feeling. I really like Elic Ayomanor this week. Now, Ayomanor has a pretty consistent snap and target percentage over the first 7 weeks of his career. He's sitting right around 5 or 6 targets. He doesn't have a whole lot of receptions because Cam Ward is not the most accurate passer. But in the last game against New England, Elic Ayomanor had a yards per catch of 14.5. That means that he's getting targeted deep down the field, which means that one of these weeks he's going to pop. He's going to have that touchdown upside, and he's going to do well for you. Now, it is bye-maggedon, so there's a lot of guys that are you can't start. So we're kind of scraping the barrel right now, and Elic Ayomanor is definitely outside of the top 36 wide receivers. He's sitting right at wide receiver 53. So stick him in your flex spot. Hope for that touchdown upside. He does have a juicy matchup in Indianapolis, who don't give up a whole lot of yards in the passing game, but they're also clamps on against running backs, which means that Cam Ward is going to throw the ball a lot, and that means that he's going to have to find Elic Ayomanor down the field if he wants to succeed, which, of course, he wants to succeed. So go ahead and stick Elic Ayomanor in your flex spot in lieu of some of the guys that have buys this week, and hope for the best.
There you go. I mean, those are deep sleepers, and a guy that, you know, if you're decimated and you see the likes of Puka and Amon-Ra on your bench, and you need something to boost your lineup, and someone that has shown, I know, flashes early on here in the season, and Calvin Ridley being banged up, we're still not even sure if he's going to play. So I think this is a good call, Biggs, as far as someone that you could probably flit in your flex lineup here, and hope for the best. And a guy that a lot of us had bigger aspirations headed into this season, and he hasn't really disappointed too much, but the team looks like they're in shambles. But folks, I'm here to tell you to, stay firm, keep hold. Brighter skies are ahead for Breece Hall, and I think it starts this week. His name is still being floated around the trade rumor mill here, so there's an opportunity there that his situation could, drastically improve based on that. But this week alone, I like where he stands in his matchup. It's about spotting the next explosion. Trade rumors or not, Hall is locked in as the engine of that Jets offense with, Garrett Wilson being somewhat banged up. We don't know if even Justin Fields is going to start. Sometimes the best buy low or start of the week plays aren't the guys coming off a monster game. They're the ones sitting on a powder keg here, and I think that's what's going to happen. The Commanders are reeling defensively, especially against the run, and the script is lining up for Hall to remind everyone why he's one of the league's most explosive young backs. He's getting work, and he's getting usage where it matters, and all it takes is one crease to turn a modest day into a fantasy week winner. Don't overthink this one. Get him in your lineup. Make sure you start him. Bet on the talent. Smash the matchup. That's the kind of play we're looking for here with Breece Hall. 5.1 yards per carry allowed to opposing running backs. Only 2 teams have been more generous than the Commanders. Hull leads all Jet skill players with 26 red zone opportunities this season, even in a struggling offense. So, there could be an opportunity there. The volume is elite and the matchup is soft. So I'm expecting a positive touchdown regression here for Breece Hall in this game. And Washington bleeds yardage on the ground to add to that. So I like this call here, and I think Breece Hall is going to smash.
Yeah. Problem is that the Jets aren't playing Washington. They're playing Cincinnati.
Sorry.
Which is why my spotlight is my spotlight.
Hold on here. Cincinnati. I just had the wrong team. They are the ones that are weak as well towards the run again. So I think this is a smash spot.
Yeah, it absolutely, and it was a typo. We'll give that to you. It was a typo.
Exactly. All right, let's get into your spotlight then, who is probably alluding towards the Cincinnati Bengals.
You always cut me off before I can say I'm ready for my close-up. All right. My spotlight is another New York Jet, and that is Mason Taylor, tight end Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor has a very consistent snap share this year, 81, 84, 96, 93 snap percentage over the last 4 weeks. He had 12 targets total against Dallas, and he's playing an even worse defense this week. Regardless of who starts, whether it's Justin Fields or the other guy, Mason Taylor, and especially with Garrett Wilson being doubtful to play or highly questionable to play, dealing with an injury, Mason Taylor could turn into the number 1 target in a big game against a terrible, terrible defense. And he's tight end 22 right now, but I have zero problem sticking Mason Taylor in, especially with Brock Bowers on the mend and a whole bunch of other guys. Sam Laporta is on a bye this week. Let's see who else. We got AJ Barner and Elijah Arroyo on bye. We've got Trey McBride on a bye. So any of those teams, if you spend a high draft pick on Trey McBride or Brock Bowers, make sure that you have Mason Taylor plugged in while they're not playing.
Yeah, I mean he could be their number 1 target. Really depending on Garrett Wilson. It sounds like Garrett Wilson's going to play this week, which is a good sign for fantasy managers. Have you heard word on anything about Justin Fields, Biggs?
I just woke up.
Exactly. So I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, Tyrod Taylor made that offense look a little bit better in the second half. I mean, he did throw a couple picks. Justin Fields struggling. I think they're going to be looking at that short intermediate route, and Cincinnati is a pretty exploitable defense, like on both sides. So I think Breece Hall's and Mason Taylor gonna explode. And
I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the waiver wire show on the weekend wrap up or weekend whatever. Justin Fields against terrible defenses has had really huge games. It's only been against the good defenses that have shut him down, and Cincinnati is not that. They aren't. Cincinnati is not him. So I think Justin Fields has a big game, and I think Mason Taylor definitely is a beneficiary of that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's get into my spotlight. All right, we're going to talk about Courtland Sutton, and he can get into the top, 12 to 10 range, but he hasn't been the last couple of weeks, and I think this is going to be a really good smash spot for him. We've been tailing, the Cowboys all year about, the situation and games for them, and Denver's in a really good position right now to smash that as well, and Courtland Sutton, I like what I see from him. This year the stars aligning for him. He's got a mouth-watering matchup. The Cowboys secondary is leaky. It's a busted faucet. Dallas has been torched repeatedly this season, and Sutton is positioned as the Broncos' go-to weapon. If you're looking for a player with both rock-solid floor and massive potential, I'm looking at Courtland Sutton, and 28% target share over the last 4 games. So he's their number 1 target. And last week, they exploded Sutton was a little bit under the radar, but I like what I saw. I still like that target share. He ranks 5th in red zone targets among wide receivers, making him a touchdown threat every week. He logged 70-plus yards on a touchdown in 5 of his last, 6 games, proving that he's weekly consistent, and he's not just a solid start. I think he's going to smash this week. So let it open up and start Courtland Sutton.
Hey, Mike, you want to know a secret?
What's that?
I had Courtland Sutton before I looked at the show sheet and saw that you had Courtland Sutton. Yeah, we just got done talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and how they are against the pass. Well, the Cowboys are the NFC's version of the Bengals. Look for Courtland Sutton to have a big week. What's really funny about Courtland Sutton is right now he has a wide receiver 3 finish on the year in one of the games. Other than that, he hasn't finished in the top 10, I believe. Yes, I am correct in that. He hasn't finished in the top 10. He has a wide receiver 111 finish and a wide receiver 88 finish. But overall for the year, he's wide receiver 12. Which is I mean, that shows you what 1 week can do. Mm-hmm. He's very touchdown dependent at this point. In games that he doesn't have a touchdown, he's in like the wide receiver 16 range, wide receiver 17 this last week against New York. I think that's more of a function of Bo Nix than him, but he's still the target leader in Denver, and Dallas doesn't really have much of a pass defense. So I'm as in on Courtland Sutton as you are.
I love it, Biggs, and I'm in on week 8. Week 8 is upon us. We're looking forward to continuing the streak we're on. So hopefully we can continue a 75% hit rate over the last 4 weeks. Maybe we can hit 100%. One of us. Too bad Shelty's not here. But next week he will be, and we'll be bringing the fire. I want to let all our viewers know where we can find all our stuff and what we are doing these days
on the internet. FantasySportsAdvice.com is the website. Go ahead, if you're watching this on Twitter or whatever, or find us on YouTube, Fantasy Sports Advice Network. Watch all our stuff. We got a lot of stuff. We got Breakfast with Biggs coming up tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, followed by Spilled Coffee. So all of your starts and sits questions, if you can't get to me, Spilled Coffee will take care of them. I will have a nice cocktail recipe to mix for you tomorrow so that you can have an eye-opener, getting yourself ready for the early slate. And then we got shows after the weekend. We will have a weekly wrap-up and waiver wire show. Thursday night, points after Thursday, we go live for starts and sits after Thursday Night Football, and then we run it back again with the sits on Friday and the starts on Saturday.
Love it, Biggs. And headed into week 8, feeling good. Hopefully our viewers are too, and still right in their leagues because, could be the time of year where teams start falling off, but hopefully you haven't gotten to that point yet. And if you are on the verge, just keep those trades going,
Also, if you happen to know anybody or be a part of the front offices of the San Francisco Giants, the Sacramento Kings, the Las Vegas Raiders, or the San Jose Sharks, I'm open for bribes to stop rooting for your team because apparently I am death to teams. If I root for you, you're bad. I'll stop for the right price.
There you have it. I love it, Biggs. The plea to the brass. Yeah. And excited. Okay, everybody, from all of us on the Fantasy Sports Advice Network and the Fantasy Forecast, we hope in. Later, skaters.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
.com.
We're still